Welcome to Charger Chat. My name is Hannah Roberson. This is my co-host, Nick Santana, and we're here with George Schlosser. He is the founder and owner of Canine Korral, a dog boarding place, and he also does dog training.
Correct.
Welcome, and thank you. Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
So when was Canine Korral founded, I guess?
2002 is when we opened our doors, November of 2002.
All right.
And what factors led you to found your company?
Every dog owner really loves their dogs. Two we had at that time were very, very special to us. In fact, they were both search dogs. And we never really found a boarding kennel that we liked for them. We wanted a place that did it right. So we said, why don't we do it ourselves? And here we are today.
Wow.
Is it just as easy as saying, why don't we do it ourselves? What sort of difficulties have you run into?
You name it. There's a lot of sadness that actually goes into it because you make connections with dogs who don't live as long as people. But as far as starting your own business, it's scary because you go through a period financially where you're out there in, if you want to call it, no man's land. And that's with any business. You're out there in no man's land. And we at one point were down to our last dollar and we said, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills next month. Man. And that's when things turned around. And it just took time. And but yeah, so financially you're stepping off of a ledge and you're hoping your parachute opens. And ours opened up just before we hit the ground.
It sounds really cool. It does sound like a daunting task though. So other than dog and cat boarding, you offer dog training?
We do dog training, and we got our start in that again with our two dogs that we had at the time. I said they were search dogs, and we did lots of training. So that's how we got our start in the training process. We also do doggy daycare, and we do doggy daycare correctly.
What's the difference between dog boarding and doggy daycare, though?
Doggy daycare is just for the day. You drop your dog off in the morning, you pick your dog up in the afternoon, whereas boarding is overnight. So they get to spend the night with us and we get them out to go poop and pee and give them exercise and everything else like that. But doggy daycare is with all the other dogs. And all the dogs have to be dog friendly, people friendly, spayed or neutered, where boarding, we get some dogs that are not necessarily that nice.
And what exactly is the difference between having a dog? What is the difference between how you care for a dog that isn't exactly dog friendly versus a dog that is?
The dogs that are dog friendly, we let them play with one another. Mm-hmm. We supervise them. We make sure that they understand that the way it all works is the person has to be the quote alpha dog. Yeah. And we make sure the dogs understand that. And so they get along and they play all day together, keep themselves occupied. Whereas the dogs that aren't necessarily that friendly, well, when they go out by themselves. We put in a lot of outdoor pens so that they can we give them a time to be a dog, sniff, things like that, dig a hole, but they do it by themselves as opposed to with other dogs.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. Have you ever run into a situation where a dog, like an owner brings a dog and they say that it's dog friendly, and then the dog maybe is nervous almost, and it turns into kind of a bad situation because they're with other dogs and then they have some sort of freak out or something?
Yes, we have. We've had some in daycare. We've had some dogs that just get overloaded and react a little bit differently than we hoped, but a lot of it has to do with being able to, we call reading your dog, and we anticipate it. And we can usually stop it before anything bad happens.
Yeah.
You said that you do it right when it comes to dog boarding and doggy daycare and training.
Great.
What do you mean by you do it right? What separates Canine Korral from other boarding centers?
Again, it goes back to we did it because we never found a place we liked for our own dogs, and what did our dogs need? And that's what we provide to the dogs that are being boarded. Whereas a lot of places, it's a job. It's a way to make money. Hey, I can put your dog in a boarding kennel, keep it all night long, and feed it, clean up after it, and be done. We do it where the dogs get a chance to go outside to relieve themselves, get a chance to go outside and run around and burn off some excess energy. Because of that, we recommend that people bring their own bedding because they take care of business outside as opposed to in their kennel. Well, if they get to have their own bedding, dogs are controlled by their nose, and they smell home all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say we do it right. We do what the dogs really need.
Yeah.
As for on your website, you stated that you keep the large dog and the small dog separate.
Correct.
You're talking about running around outside, and it also said that you have netting over the small dog area.
Correct.
Why is that necessary?
In the Pacific Northwest around here, we have some rather large birds, as in bald eagles, as in hawks. And we were getting ready to reopen our original doggy daycare building, back using it just for small dogs now, when the day before we were supposed to reopen, we watched an eagle snag a duck that was bigger than a lot of our small dogs and
goodness.
fly off with it. And we said we don't want to have to tell a customer their dog flew off in the talons of an eagle.
Oh, wow.
So, and as far as I know, I don't know of any other kennel or doggy daycare in Snohomish County that has netting covering an outdoor play area.
Well, it sounds like you take every precaution you can to make sure to ensure the dog's safety and the well-being of them and the general happiness of the owner, because you don't want anything bad to happen to the dogs. You don't want to get swooped up.
Correct.
So that's awesome that you guys can do that.
So as for your safety measures, do you have breed or size restrictions as to this breed tends to be too violent?
There's only one breed we say we will not take, period, and that's wolf hybrids. But we also tell people we do not take people aggressive dogs. And people know if their dogs are people aggressive. And there's a difference between aggression and fear. Some dogs are just absolutely fearful. They run into the corner, and then somebody gets too near them, and they defend themselves, and they bite somebody in defense. As opposed to, you get near a dog, and the dog looks at your arm and says, lunch.
Yeah.
We don't want the dog that wants to have lunch. We'll take the dog that is fearful because we can deal with it. We don't have to corner it. But yeah, so no, we know how to read dogs. We know what, after all these years, we know what tendencies are. We know that pit bulls, a lot of times the biggest problem with pit bulls is not the dog, but they're never socialized because the owners are afraid what the dog may do in public.
Yeah.
But we also know that they're not necessarily the friendliest of dogs, or they actually play too hard.
Yeah.
So we know that going in. So we do not have breed restrictions.
All right, so we have to move into our next segment now. I've been Hannah Roberson, this has been Nick Santana, and this has been George Slosser of Canine Korral.
Celine?
Yeah?
What happened? You got an F on your last test.
No!
And your bow's ugly too.
Hey there.
Hey, what's up?
Do you think you could, I don't know, possibly help me pass my next test? I'll show you how to dance.
Welcome back, Marisol. I'm Nick Santana. This is my co-host Hannah Roberson, and we're here with George Schlosser from Canine Korral. So before the break, we were talking about dogs aggressive versus fearful. Have you ever run into a dog with, say, like separation anxiety? Because I know personally, my sister's boyfriend, she has a dog. It's a German Shepherd Shibu Inu mix. And she has the worst separation anxiety ever. Like, if he even just goes to the store for 10 minutes, she'll find a way to jump over the fence and just try and find him. She always comes back, but she always runs away.
Yes, we get dogs that have separation anxiety. As far as escaping, again, we go back and we take extreme measures on making sure that they don't get out, either in the talons of an eagle or whatever.
Yeah.
All of our fencing is buried in concrete, so if we get a digger, and a lot of your little dogs, your rat terrier, all your terriers were literally bred to dig for environments, they can't dig out. We've got mesh that comes in a little bit from the 6-foot tall chain link fence so they can't leap out over the top or climb out. So the escape part, it's probably not going to happen, and everything is double door, double gated. So if they get through one gate, well, there's probably a solid door between them and free world, as we call it. But giving them things in their kennel, as I say, make it right.
Yeah.
The part about bringing their own bedding, and they smell, at least they smell mom or dad. They have their own food. That's something else of home that they smell.
Yeah.
We also create a den. The individual dog's kennel is kind of like their safety zone, their den, so to speak. It's got concrete block walls, so they don't have to worry about seeing the dog next to them. And sometimes we even take an extreme measure and found that if we put a kind of like a piece of white plastic on the front side so they can't even see out, it calms them down.
Yeah.
Again, it's playing games to try and figure out what is going to make that particular dog comfortable.
Exactly, yeah.
I asked before about size and breed requirements, and you said that, or restrictions, and you said that you only restrict as to one breed, wolf hybrids. Are there age requirements for puppies or kittens?
They have to be done with their puppy shots or their kitten shots. So yes, roughly 14 weeks of age, as young as we can take them. Some vets don't give the rabies vaccine until they're 6 months, but around here rabies is very, very rare. But the standard puppy shots, they have to be done with all of them before we'll take them. So yeah, about 14 to 16 weeks.
Puppy shots.
And on the upper end,
Sorry.
on the upper end, we've gotten some very, very, very old dogs. So.
Puppy shots are rabies and what?
Distemper combo, which is a series, they usually get about 3 of those, which is distemper, parvo, parainfluenza, lepto, coronavirus. And every vet gives a slightly different combination, but it's always distemper, parvo, and bordetella. Bordetella is also known as kennel cough. It's kind of like a common cold.
Yeah. Sorry, back to the wolf breed mix. Is the reason that you don't accept wolf breed mixes, was there a situation where something went wrong with one, or is it just kind of, the aggression and their breed?
Actually, it wasn't aggression, it was total fear. We had a wolf hybrid that was absolutely, totally fearful.
Oh, really?
And getting it back into a kennel was an interesting process. I'll just leave it at that. And we actually called animal control for help.
Oh, wow.
And animal control said they would not even come. We were to call Fish and Wildlife because it was a wolf hybrid. And the way that Fish and Wildlife would deal with it is they would wind up sedating the dog with a tranquilizer, and we said no.
Oh my gosh.
If we can't call animal control for help, we don't want the dog.
Yeah,
So we just said no wolf hybrids.
that makes sense.
Man.
There are kennels that will deal with them because they never get them out.
Yeah.
But because we get our dogs out 4 times a day, I've got to be able to get them back into their kennel.
Yeah.
And so that's why we don't take them.
All right, so we have another segment that we are going to go to. It's about auditioning for a show.
Okay?
We'll be right back. Let's get started.
Hi, so I'm Cassandra, and I've been acting since I was like 3, and it has always been my dream. I mean, yeah, it's been my dream to be part of the big picture. I mean, it
Okay.
is a dream, you know?
All right.
It's everyone.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay there, Hannah. Just
that's not my name. It's Cassandra.
so let's just see what you got.
Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent taste. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and there's another part, and
Did you forget your lines?
I'm just nervous, okay? I mean, it's Shakespeare. Everyone knows Shakespeare, but I don't know. I'm just nervous, okay? It's kind of a big thing.
Frankly, that was awful, and I hated it, and you're just making me uncomfortable, so you should probably leave. If I'm going to be honest, I think that was a bit of an overreaction from her. She has no talent, so when it really comes down to it, she can't go anywhere with that. I mean... Hello. The audition stage is up there.
Oh no, I'll audition up right here. It's fine.
I just really don't like people being that close to me, so if you could just pop up there, that'd be great.
Okay. I hope you don't mind. I brought a friend.
Do you guys not understand that I don't like people being close to me?
Dude, come on, let's go. Good.
So what do you got for me today?
Okay, I'm here to audition today, but don't worry about him. He's just here to support me.
Okay, show me what you got.
You got this, man. You got this. Let's go. Yes! There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Keep it going. Keep it going. Yeah. There we go.
Don't give up! This just isn't what I'm looking for.
Stop that. Okay. Thank you.
You should leave now. I don't want to call security. What the hell was that? I'm not looking for the new Jane Fonda workout video. I'm looking for the next greatest actor, and this is just not working out for me. You know, my hopes are high for you because you're the last auditioner today, so if you disappoint, I'm gonna take home some negative feelings. So much passion, so much perfection, so much energy. Yes. You're the one. Action. Yes.
Welcome back. My name's Hannah Roberson. This is my co-host, Nick Santana, and we're here with George Schlosser of K9 Korral. So, over the break, Nick was mentioning that he had boarded his dogs at Canine Corral before, but we've never used a dog boarding service. Usually what we do when we go on vacation is just have a friend or a neighbor let our dogs in and out and feed them a couple times a day. Why would a facility like Canine Corral actually be a better option for our dog?
Safety. When I say that, people that take care of their friends and neighbors and relatives' dogs have the best intention, but a properly run kennel is set up so that nothing bad happens. We can guarantee there's somebody there 24/7. So if something does go wrong, we can guarantee that we're there to feed your dog twice a day. We can guarantee that we're there to make sure if they're getting medications, and just the setup. I mentioned that everything is double doored, double gated. In 2005, our governor, Governor Gregoire, went to the Super Bowl to watch the Seahawks play Pittsburgh Steelers. And she left her Pomeranian in the care of a friend, just a tiny little dog. They liked each other. And the dog door dashed.
Oh, really?
Yes. And when the governor got home, she no longer had a dog.
Yikes.
So it can happen. It happened to President Clinton after he left office. Secret Service was watching his lab buddy, and the same thing happened.
Oh.
And it happened to one of our very, very first customers. She canceled her reservation because a daughter was going to come by and take it. The dog loved her. She loved the dog. But she wasn't used to living around an active lab, and she didn't watch behind her when she went to go out the door. So we're there. We can guarantee, no place can absolutely guarantee, because dogs do weird things. But the chances of something happening at a good kennel are greatly reduced because of safety.
Yeah, because you take all the correct precautions. And
yes,
stuff,
correct.
So I'm kind of shifting focus here. You've been boarding dogs for a long time now. Have you seen a sort of dog that's your favorite to board now? Or is it kind of just you like them all?
You learn to like them all.
Yeah.
There are dogs that, and it's the dog, not the breed. Because we get in some really, really great dogs of all breeds. There are some pit bulls that I've just connected with. I'll never own a pit bull. We've had German Shepherds. I'll never own a German Shepherd. But just some German Shepherds that I've connected with that you just... So it's not a particular breed. Now, there's a particular breed I'll always own, but that's not necessarily the easiest dog to take care of when boarding them in the kennel.
What dogs do you own at the moment?
We have a black lab and a liver-spotted Dalmatian.
Liver-spotted Dalmatian.
Are those the same ones? Are those also trained in search and rescue?
No.
Were your search and rescue dogs?
These guys are pets. These are just purely pets. The two we had when we opened, a lab and a Dalmatian, they were search dogs, but they've passed on. And these two we have now are both 9 years old. Plus, we also have a Rot mix that we rescued. But liver-spotted Dalmatians, that's kind of rare. They're supposed to be black-spotted, and labs are supposed to be black. But they have a recessive gene that every once in a while pops out, as in yellow or chocolate. That's the same thing with liver and Dalmatians.
That's so cool, though.
Yeah.
You have a lot of experience working with dogs, and it seems like a very quality kennel.
The big thing about it was the search and rescue part. We had to know what everything our dog did. We had to know what it meant, because it does mean something. It's called reading your dog. And so we've taken that into the kennel, and we've learned to read the breeds. And just so we've got that, get that experience of knowing how to take care of them, because we know how to read them and what their needs are.
Yeah, makes total sense.
That is really cool, and I love to hear about your facilities. And I actually think that if we take a vacation this winter, we'll actually be boarding with Canine Corral. Right now, we do have to move into another segment. I've been Hannah Roberson, this has been Nick Santana, and this has been George Schlosser of Canine Corral.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we need to do. She's at 5:30. Be there.
Are you gonna start?
I don't know.
Hey, did you finish the homework for geometry?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think I got like 2 hours sleep last night trying to get that thing finished. I got it all sorted here. 3 pages of essay. Where is it? No, I had it. No, I had it.
Hey, why did you say that? That was so mean. You're not friendly.
Wait, what? Good morning, Marysville. Welcome back to Charger Chat. I'm Nick Santana. This is my co-host Hannah Roberson. We're here with George Schlosser from K9 Korral.
So, over the break, you were telling us a bit about your environmental. Now, I know that at one point your company had the largest solar panels in the county, and you also worked with the Snohomish County Surface Water Management to found a new pet-centered environmental campaign. Would you like to give the audience a bit of background on how this came about, what your campaign is focused on?
We've always been outdoorsy kind of people, so protecting the environment has always been just a natural, do what we can. Recycling was, something simple that we could do and whatnot. But the part about the solar panels really got us going into being even more environmentally conscious.
Yeah.
And for starters, everything has to be economically sound. So if solar panels were going to cost us money, be environmentally friendly, but cost us a whole bunch of money, well, maybe I can't afford to do it.
Yeah.
I still have a budget, but it made economic sense also. Mm-hmm. So we said, hey, why not? Why not give it a try? And as it turns out, we produce more electricity with the solar panels than even the solar company anticipated.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
So we kept on saying, okay, what else can we do better? We have lots of outdoor lights in our facility, and we said, we burn a lot of electricity when they're on at night, especially if they get left on all night long.
Yeah.
We said, let's put on timers so our lights never stay on all night long. Mm-hmm. The part about the pet waste program, we were one of the ones that started it. The county actually started the program, sort of, but they didn't know what they were doing. And then once they spoke to me, I kind of straightened them out, and we'll just put it politely, I straightened them out, and they figured out how they could do things much better. And now because of my talking to them, they have the whole scoop it, bag it, and toss. They put together the whole scoop it, bag it, and toss it in trash program, because 30% of all of the nasty stuff in our streams and creeks is actually coming from domestic pets. And so that's what they wanted to reduce, and I told them how they could do a better job of reducing it.
Yeah.
So why did the county come to you specifically?
Well, they were starting a program, but they had no clue what they were doing, is basically, and I just told them how to do it. So no, they had the idea, but then I told them actually how to make it work, because they had no idea how to make it work. And I got the ball rolling.
So what is Scoop It, Bag It, Toss It in the Trash about? It is...
When your dog leaves a pile, scoop it, place it in a plastic bag, and put it in the trash. Because it's going to a landfill that is... They're lined. There's nothing escaping from these landfills. There's no nasty water escaping from them. And so that's where this dog poop is going, rather than just letting it degrade on the ground and eventually winding up in streams and creeks. So that's the idea behind it, is to keep it out of the streams and creeks so our fish can survive better. We're spending a ton of money building all these new culverts, but what good does it do if the water's contaminated?
It's so simple, you would think, to just scoop up your dog's waste or whatever, your animal's waste, and trash it. Why do you think that, if it's so simple, why do you think that people have such a hard time doing it? Do you think that it's just because...
Why did the county have such a hard time?
Well, for starters, you've got to get people over the hump of actually reaching down and picking up dog poop. But when you think about it, we always carried around the little plastic grocery shopping bags. That's why they never should have outlawed them in any city, because they're great. And if you think about it, on a cold winter morning, you're out walking your dog, and you pick it up and you wrap it up in the plastic bag, you can stick it in your pocket. It's a nice hand warmer.
Oh.
But trying to get... Yep, it's sealed in a plastic bag and it's warm. Nice hand warmer. But getting people over the idea of doing that, of picking it up. Yes, it's a simple thing to do, but getting over that hump of getting in the mindset, I don't want to pick it up. It's nasty, but it's something I have to do.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, we've just about run out of time here on our show today, so thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, it's actually been a really fascinating time, and there's so much more that I wish I could have asked you, but if our viewers have any more questions, they can go directly to Canine Korral or their website, caninekorral.com, with K9, KORRAL.com.
All right, thank you. I'm Nick Santana, this is Hannah Roberson, and this has been George Schlosser. Thank you for watching Marysville.